Good evening and welcome to episode 76 of Red True Diaries. Tonight, I am going to read an article from a website called Elephant Journal. The article's title is called The Biggest Secret for Great Sex, and it's by Candace Halldorf. And before I start reading, I'd like to give a little background information, especially after my last episode, because a lot has changed. And the day that a friend, very good friend, sent this article to me was the day I awoke from a very powerful dream that I knew had a clear message from me to me. But actually it was packaged and delivered, and even I felt like I was placed back onto my bed after the dream. It was so clear that it was a message. And then this article tied into the message, and oddly enough, a big part of it related to the guy I mentioned in my previous episode, and his girlfriend, and the menage a trois. And I realized through this article and my dream, and even the friend who sent me this article, who has been a big inspiration for me being a vegan again, of how important it is for me to ideally be with someone as a lover or boyfriend who is vegetarian or vegan. I don't think I've ever dated a vegetarian or a vegan. I once had a crush on a guy who was a vegan, but I never had that say as a stipulation or something I thought of as, really attractive or unattractive about someone. I've pretty much just let, people's choices be what they are. As long as you didn't make me eat it, I didn't really care. But just as this article goes into about being honest with yourself and with other people, I began to realize, wow, I know that this guy who I had strong feelings for 2.5 years, he and his girlfriend eat a lot of unusual food, not just your average meat like chicken, beef, turkey, fish. I know that, she has a pig heart. A pig heart. I mean, I understand. I know people eat alligators and all, but a big fat pig heart. I was raised in a family who made chitlins, pig intestines. Chitlins are pig intestines. Pig feet, pig ears, liver, hog maws, oxtails, all kinds of things that, no wonder, I don't like meat. But it just looks and just sounds so gross to me. I just, when I'm thinking about putting my mouth on a pig heart and putting it in my mouth and chewing it and swallowing it, or say putting my mouth on someone's mouth who has put a pig heart into it, I just total turn off. Game over. Just realized it's a wrap. No, I don't want to have a menage a trois with these people. Nothing against them in terms of who they are and how they live. It's just not my truth. It's not what turns me on. And it was a huge awakening and shift within me, on through even thinking like, wow, do I really want to live with this, say, discrimination and filter of only being lovers or having as a boyfriend someone who is a vegetarian or a vegan? As of right now, yes, that is my ideal. Will I compromise on that in certain situations? Maybe. I don't know yet. We shall see. But it was, the beginning of a realization that's really important to me, apparently. So, okay. this article. Pretty awesome article that does tie into all of this. All right. I was oming, which is orgasmic meditation, which is awesome. Love that idea too. Okay, I was oming a few days ago. During the om, hold on, I feel like I should go ahead and give a brief history about oming. Okay, orgasmic meditation is something that Nicole Daedone, I believe is how you say her name. She came up with this experience of where two people, a woman and her chosen partner, it could be male or female, someone she just met at the workshop or someone who she brought with her, but she has a pillow, she has a blanket over her, I think somewhat like you make this what's called a nest and you get really comfortable, and then the person, the woman is laying on her back, legs spread, and the person who is doing her orgasmic meditation, is guided through a series of steps, including looking at her pussy and describing it and giving it a certain degree of attention. And then there's certain movements, I believe it's like clockwise, but in a 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock position and going slowly. And that lasts for 15 minutes. The goal isn't to actually orgasm, but to use it as a meditative experience. Though some people do orgasm from it. Again, it's not the goal. And then they share their thoughts and feelings about it afterward. So there's the basic summation of orgasmic meditation, otherwise known as oming. All right. During the om, it felt as if there were an inch of waxy paraffin between his finger and my clit. An irritating voice arose. Why the hell can't he find me? Why does my spot keep moving? Why don't my ohms feel like they used to? Am I being annoying asking for all these adjustments? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? The ohm ended. I shared a frame with a copious amount of over-politeness, lest my angry, ravenous beast come out and bite off this poor guy's head. And I asked for another ohm. It started off the same way. We felt incredibly far away from each other. I couldn't quite name it, but I knew there was something I wasn't fully admitting to myself. There was something pulsing. No, sorry. There was some pulsing, hungry truth, locked up in a ballerina music box with pink ribbons and smiley faces. Then I asked him to move his finger a little lower and to nestle it into the lower pocket of my clit. And that's when it hit me. Fucking. I wanted fucking. But not just any kind of fucking. I wanted seedy, sleazy, $20 whore in a cheap motel who gets used then left in a pile by a Wall Street creep who comes with his tie on. Kind of fucking. Oh, well, that's a little confronting. I mean, I've had some naughty sex in my life, but this was a little difficult to admit. Aren't I a free-thinking woman who believes in equality of the sexes? Aren't I so advanced in my own practice that I should be beyond the hunger for quick climax and heavy pressure? Shouldn't I be working towards feeling the expanded subtlety of the lightest strokes? But the evidence was clear. I couldn't feel a thing until I acknowledged my desire. I wanted some nasty sex. In that moment, my pussy swelled with wet heat. I sucked him in deeper into me, and little electric hooks gripped onto each ridge of his finger. We as a culture are so shamefully hungry to the point of secretly obsessing about sex. We surreptitiously Google search for the sexual holy grail, the perfect pill or the perfect position or the perfect toy to make her curl her toes or have him beg for more. But none of that will make a difference if you don't have the courage to do the one thing that will light you up like nothing else. And guess what she says here? Tell the truth. That's what I'm all about. Let's say someone you have a crush on is sitting right next to you. Connect with your body in that moment. Can you feel your heart beat faster and your palms sweat? Does the thought of telling this person that you want to kiss him or her make you feel like you are going to fly out of your body? Or perhaps you're in a relationship and you've had some fantasies of bringing home the secretary. Imagine sharing that desire with your partner. Can you feel the nervous, carbonated tickle of the hairs on your neck? Or imagine that you are angry at someone and you are finally letting out all of your unfiltered rage. Can you feel the heat in your face, the hammering in your chest, and the swelling in your throat? All of that heightened sensation is orgasm that can be used in any turned on way you choose. Every time you admit the truth to yourself, you peel away another layer that's blocking intimacy. Conversely, every time you withhold your desires or feelings, you are packing more rotting, unexpressed energy on top of your orgasm. Over time, each caked-on layer gets thicker and thicker, and you have to work harder and harder to maintain the ruse that the solidified mask of your lies is your truth. Eventually, you may even start to blame the people in your life for all that crap weighing you down. This is at the heart of why relationships fail. It's not that the sex gets bad and then the relationship goes down the tubes. It's actually the other way around. The relationship starts failing when we stop telling the truth, either out of laziness or fear of losing that person. When that happens, the first thing we run from is the exposed and highly volatile arena of sex. We make up excuses about why we can't have it. Too tired, too busy, not in the mood, have a headache, it's not that important. We have different schedules, the kids exhaust us. We've heard them all, and have probably even used a few at some point. It's not until the years go by and we find ourselves on the brink of a desperate sexual starvation that we then grasp onto anything to save the relationship. You can pile on as many romantic getaways, kinky toys, and lovemaking classes as you want. But unless you have the courage to speak your truth, you'll just end up in a candlelit beach bungalow, handcuffed to the bed and gazing into the eyes of someone you've been loathing for the past 10 years. Nothing fundamental will change. We have to learn to strip down sex to its barest essentials. Me, the sensation in my body, and my desire. That's it. Once you've tapped into that, share it with someone. If that person doesn't want to meet you there, let them go. They are not for you. If they are willing to play, treat them well. And continue to stay honest about your desire. This is why whenever I am feeling disconnected sexually, I don't rush to fix a problem or assign blame for why someone else is a crappy lover. I slow down and ask myself the questions. What am I running from? Where am I lying? What am I not admitting? As in the case with my own, I wasn't admitting the part of me that likes being a tacky, climax-driven, trashy whore. The moment I gave her permission to exist, my body flushed with orgasm. The turn-on lies in the admission itself, in the moment of expressing desire. What happens afterwards is simply choice. I could go out and pay some douchebag for a lay. perhaps not the option for most. But if we are to work towards healing the shame around sex, we must hold all preferences and appetites with respectful equanimity. I could enroll a willing partner to play out the scene with me, or I could let the acknowledged desire sit in my body and carry it around as my happy little secret to brighten the day. Once you admit your truth, sex becomes about abundance and exploration rather than fear and hiding. Maybe you want to experiment with wielding a flogger, or perhaps you want to try celibacy. Or maybe you've been dying to have sex to that one Michael Bolton song playing on the stereo. Either way, you have chosen to express yourself from a place of erotic authenticity. So go on. Admit it. Remember, the truth will not only set you free, it also makes for great sex. You agree, baby? So I 100% agree. Thank you for watching and listening. May you have a wonderful time exploring this and maybe some other things for yourself. I love you. Good night.